Gen Z podcast. Welcome to the Gen Z podcast. I am a validated co-host today, JP Jackson. To my far right is Mr. Rizaan Rose.
What do you mean validated co-host?
Our guest in the middle
just
told me that I can be a co-host today. I've been promoted to a co-host. So no longer a secondary host. I have my own place in the podcast. Rizaan. How do you feel about that?
Firstly, to the audio listeners, I hope you can hear we sound different today. To the visual listeners, we are back. I know it's been too long.
Yeah.
Before we get to this whole co-host shenaniganry, I do want to welcome our guest today. We are very, very excited to talk to you. We have an empowerment coach.
Oh, thank you.
Her name is Fé Van Haght. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you said it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Not many people get it right.
15 points to Gryffindor.
It's all about the...
It's but it's also not saying that like 2 minutes ago, Faye had to add a copy to the book to make sure that
I spelled my name wrong.
Accent?
a copy.
It's called an accent, yes.
Yeah.
Turns the E into a A.
Why are you saying a copy, man? why are you saying a copy there?
Because of the...
That's a different E.
Yeah.
What? That's most for Vattel.
Say. My name's not fair. No.
Not Fee either. It's Faye.
Yes. Like the Rene, Deirdre, Andre, Faye.
That's actually apt. Okay, wow.
They all have the accent on the E.
So, wait.
Oh, no.
One of my favorite names, one of my friends, sorry, her name is Chloe. That's the deal teken, huh? Okay.
On the,
two
on
eyes.
the E.
The
Oh, that's the two eyes.
The E's, the E's.
The
The
deal
dotjies,
teken.
the dotjies. Right? We're having Afrikaans lesson. Just allow us. So first of all, in the comments, what is the deal teken in English?
Is it
I don't have a comment on that.
semicolon? That's It's above the table.
And it's not even a semicolon, it's a colon, you mook.
I've always been confused about what a semicolon and a colon is.
Yo, that was the wrong time too, baby. Okay, that's the first thing now. And the second thing is like, so Chloe with a DL teken. I know of a Chloe with an accent. Why? Why is your name Chloe?
Chloe. I felt that coming. Maybe it's Chloe.
Maybe it's the Chloe to go. I couldn't. I needed that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's a boss.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Hello to
So
the audio
far-
listeners.
Yeah.
So, what's it? Validated host. Explain this to me. Sorry, what did you validate there? Like, what do you mean?
I don't think you heard the correct validation.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you got the message wrong.
Because you're the host, right? As in, you started this. I came on as secondary. Okay. So I'm your co-chair, your co-pilot, your co-host. Speak. You took it the wrong way. You took it the wrong. Yes, like it. You.
So I need VAR to come
Thank
and
you.
investigate this conversation. But I will say that it's so nice to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
very
happy
much.
to VAR
Thank you.
that again. For those who
No, we
didn't
don't
hear,
need this.
okay?
Yeah. So for those that do not know,
Here we go.
Yes.
would you mind introducing who is Faye?
Here we go. For 5 marks.
Hi. I am Faye. Can I introduce myself very differently to how
Yes.
people would, want to introduce themselves? I'm gonna leave the titles for later. I'm gonna leave my roles for later. And just the word Faye.
Please.
I am weird. I'm a nerd. I like goofy things. I don't often make sense. I am a Marvel fanatic. But only because I feel like Marvel brings in the good where Disney is a bit dark. So just to give you some insight into me, I like the light. I like being in water, preferably the ocean. I like to be on the mountain. I like to connect with nature. I am not funny. My jokes are very bad. I think they're hilarious. So oftentimes if I'm laughing alone, I made a joke. If other people are not laughing,
you didn't give them a chance to hear it.
no, they didn't get it like you.
Oh yeah.
You didn't get the message.
Misinterpreted. I take what I want to get out of it.
So that's parts of me without any of the titles and the roles. What else do I like? I have a fur baby who a pet.
No, continue. Sorry.
A pet.
Continue.
A fur baby that lives her best life. Better than
what
we
fur
do.
baby? Is it a dog?
She's a dog. She's a mix. Between a very strange mix. She's a Vorsie mixed with a Doberman.
Wow.
So she's an odd-looking dog. So she fits into the household perfectly.
Oh.
She's as doofy and facile as the rest of us in the house.
Oh wow. So we currently have 3. We have 2 cats at home and 1 dog.
Sure.
And now we have a baby. That's at home. So
congratulations.
thank you. Rest in peace to the sleep.
Bye,
like when you speak about fur babies, our very first cat, Kelly, still speaks about her fur baby like that. Like the first one that walked into the house. And
Yes,
she can't let
that
it
takes
go.
your heart.
She even convinced Lyle that to be, because Lyle's not a cat person, but Lyle actually likes that fur baby.
I started out as a cat person. I never in my entire life thought I was going to have a dog. But when you get to the 30 plus, I don't know how old you gentlemen are, but for women, when you get 30 plus, you get broody.
Oh.
So the dog helped with that.
I was broody pre-30, so I don't know. Maybe I have an old... Maybe
for the me and the audio listeners, what does broody mean?
Where you want to nurture.
Yeah.
You want to nurture. You want to take care of something.
Okay.
You want to expand a family. I don't know. You can look in the dictionary. That's just how I
it's
thought.
like I just like there's so many reasons why I didn't know that word.
Oh, okay.
Like I guess gender role vibes. I'm a guy, so we don't necessarily focus on nurturing.
Oh.
That's number 1. Number 2, I don't have children or pets, unfortunately. So I was recently like a plant dad for like a little bit.
Did you kill the plant?
No.
Oh, okay. So why are you no longer a plant dad?
I was a plant stepdad. I had to give it back.
Stepdad. Okay. A blended family.
So,
I had to return it back to the owner. I guess I was broody for a bit.
For a plant.
Okay, so that I think
it's just giving you quite hate from the outside of the club.
I missed you, JP.
I missed you too, Rizaan. Thank you.
It's what's weird. Not like,
But let's not forget we're talking to Faye today.
We are.
Over me.
So
Having a moment. It's cute. It's cute.
Eye contact. Like
And the energy is
eyes.
beautiful.
Like,
It's really beautiful. It's nice to see. It's nice to be this side of the camera.
You said you were shocked.
And actually feel it.
Yeah, it's not just this small, right? And
No.
Like you were shocked that we were tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, cool. So so tell us about your formative years. Like, where did you grow up, and like your schooling and stuff like that.
We're just jumping into childhood.
Please, where all the spiciness started.
The spiciness has not ended, but yes, I grew up, born and bred in Lansdowne, Cape Flats.
Okay.
I think people used to think that Lansdowne was like the nice side of the Cape Flats. I don't know what people think about it now.
My granny used to think that.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, my granny also used to think that. I think that's why she moved us there. Because, our grandparents wanted to give us a better life. And that meant whiter than what we are. But Lansdowne was a fun place to grow up. I went to 3 or 4 different schools.
I love the stories.
My grandparents were teachers. Afrikaans teachers, and I started at her school. She was a maths teacher. And then I ended up at a different school because somewhere along the line, I wasn't supposed to be in an Afrikaans school. We must send it to an English school. And then I went to another school down the road. And then I ended up at Portia Primary in Lansdowne.
We don't know that, but like somebody knows that.
And
It's like 30
somebody
people.
knows that.
3 subscribers.
There's more than 3 people that know Portia Primary.
Do you know York Road Primary? That was the white one next to Portia.
What? York Road.
York Road was the fancy one and Portia was the non-fancy one. And they were back to back.
That's wild. Now, Porsche would think he's fancy. Porsche.
Because Porsches are fancy?
Girl!
Why am I just seeing like accents now on every word you say?
What happened in the last month, Rizaan?
I have not changed. I don't like just like you know me. Like you know me. You I'm fighting for my life. Anyway, back to
Anyway.
yeah, please.
I had a really awesome childhood.
Yes, please.
And also that question, tell us about your formative years, depends on who you ask. Are you asking the 24-year-old Faye who was still carrying a lot of her baggage, or are you asking the 37-year-old Faye who's worked through a lot of that baggage? Because then the answer is different.
This you need a question. Why was 24 years old? Why was that like
So 24 years was a turning point for me.
That's
Was when life got really, and I had to turn it into something else. I had to change.
Are you comfortable getting into it a little bit? Just a little
You don't want
bit?
to spend more time in the childhood before we get to 24? We're just gonna.
So this is
dive
the
right
nice
in?
part of having a conversation like that
Okay.
is that when you bring up something like that, we have the
We're gonna
time
go
to
into it.
discuss it, and we can always get back to where you
Yeah,
are now.
please.
So tell us why 24-year-old Faye
Yeah.
had the crash.
24-year-old Faye was at the peak of her addiction. And 24-year-old Faye had to seek help and ended up in rehab. And rehab was where I felt, for the first time, as though people understood me. Which was an important part of the healing process for me because a lot of pre-24-year-old Faye didn't feel understood. So
Do you think, sorry not to delve, do you think that's one of the reasons for the continued habit at the time?
Of course, drugs understood me, JP. Drugs understood me very well. They knew I needed to numb. And so I did. And at 24 was where I learned about self-esteem, where I learned about trauma, where I learned about why I behave the way I behave. And also, most importantly, learned that I had the capacity to change what I wanted to change. And I think rehab was the first place I learned that self-esteem can be developed, that self-worth is not something you're born with. And then I was like, oh, tell me more. And when they told me more, I was like, okay, I'm going to go test this theory. And then I go test the theory, and then I come back and I go, oh, you're not lying.
Yeah.
So I go test it again, and it worked. And since then, I've been obsessed with learning about myself. And the more I learn about myself, the more I figure out, okay.
I'm in my feels, guys. My bags are packed, ready for this feels trip.
Are we going? We can go.
No, I think that's beautiful. Continue, please continue.
It's like Rizaan doesn't want to.
Yeah. I'm bags are packed. Seatbelts ready.
yeah.
I'm good to go.
You're strapped in.
Please.
I also think that one of the biggest lessons that came out of rehab was that my addiction was a symptom of a much bigger problem.
Ooh.
Much bigger.
Bigger to you, or just a
deeper.
bigger in terms of the problem itself?
Addiction was the symptom, and what was lying beneath that was my inability to manage life. Manage things that was difficult about life.
Yeah.
And what you saw was someone using drugs, but what was happening underneath was that I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to utilize the things that were given to me, which was my privilege, my opportunity, my family, my support system. I didn't know how to use it. So I had no resources. And addiction led me to a place where I realized, you don't have a bag of tools. You need a bag of tools.
And it's funny how the habit pushes away your tools. it pushes away those things that could have supported you.
Yes.
But in that moment, like you said, the comfort of the habit was more enticing.
And my mother was very good at giving me tools. So that, like I said, pre-24, you got a different answer about childhood. Post 24, I can look back and remember all the really tools, the awesome tools my mother did give me. And I was like, they were amazing. I didn't know how to use them. So
sorry. So you are saying that you carry both of those viewpoints with you
all the time. Yeah.
So okay. So even to this day, you sit here and you like say Mana was still that person.
Oh, sorry, no.
I was still that person. I would be experiencing this in this particular manner, or I'd be taking this out of that. So I want to ask you, pre-24, what was your dream that you weren't sort of, I guess, achieving, or what that you wanted to achieve?
There were multifacets to that dream. It was a multifaceted dream.
Yeah.
I had a dream of numbing my emotions.
Okay.
Number one. That was goal number one. Numb what you're feeling, sweep it under the carpet. Don't talk about it. Put on the facade that you're fine. Put on the facade that you're coping.
Yeah.
And go make money and succeed and go have children and go get married and make sure that you continue to keep up the facade.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was the dream. If you asked me pre-24, it would probably have sounded like, I'd like to be a civil engineer. I'd like to make a lot of money. I really want to own a Volvo.
You have to stick with an accent. I want to be a civil engineer and drive a Volvo. Get married and have children. Take them to Porsche Prime.
No, dude. Not Porsche. No.
I was in it.
Just not Porsche.
And then to follow up then, now that you are post 24, what is the new dream?
I'm living that dream.
Let's go.
I'm in it. I'm in the middle of the dream. So somewhere around 24, because drugs can also warp your perception of time. Somewhere around 24, I'd learned or realized that my dream had nothing to do with work, career, lifestyle, children. I just wanted to wake up and love what I do. I watched people wake up and complain. Not like their life, complain. Have children, complain. Get depressed, live an anxious lifestyle. And I thought, no, guys, I do not want this. So I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I wanted to wake up and be happy. So I am waking up and I am happy. Well, this morning I woke up nervous because this morning I was like, oh, I'm going to be speaking on JC podcast. But underneath the nervous was happy.
I think it's just hearing you speak like that is just amazing. Because I think a lot of the times, and it's always like the old people that give it, like my grandparents would always say, don't forget what you learned and always keep perspective. And like the fact that you acknowledge that 24-year-old self wouldn't react the same as you react now. And I think a lot of the times especially when you're in similar circles or similar age groups, like just because I don't react that way, now I'm expecting you not to react that way.
Exactly.
And that's not true. We might be the same age, but in different phases of where we are as a person or our growth internally. And I think this whole understanding that we must all must be on the same track. We must all have our lives figured out by 21 and this timeline.
Children by 26,
those type of things. And if you see someone do that, then you think, oh no, I'm behind. I'm supposed to be that. When that was never meant for you.
I was chasing catch up from the minute I left rehab. I was like, I'm only sober now. I don't have a career that I love. I still don't know who I am. And I'm like looking back at Facebook. What the? Who's married? Who's got great careers? Who's already a civil engineer? And I was just like, I just learned about self-esteem. Felt like a baby. And then somewhere post 24 realized, you need to stop.
There's two ideas I want to sort of speak about. The one is the message that we ask young kids, you know, like in creche or primary school, the what do you want to do when you grow up? Side eye. Busted.
For the audio listeners.
To the audio listeners.
Criminal offense. and so I recently
The eye roll
saw,
was it?
Yeah, no, I'm on your
Okay.
side. I'm on your side.
Okay.
Someone recently came out and said that we need to reframe that and make it where we ask the kids what type of, maybe a question like what type of world do they want to live in, or what type of I guess impact they want to be making in the world. That's a more appropriate question than what do you want to be, because it creates a. Let me finish. Cook. It creates like an idea, and then when they don't reach that, it's a mess.
Exactly. And what kind of mark can you leave in the world can mean any career. And you can leave that mark. Which is exactly how I ended up where I ended up, because I have a bucket of skills and I thought I had to work in a certain field, or I thought I had to impart that knowledge or skills in a certain way. And now I'm still happy, waking up happy, but doing something completely that I didn't think I would be doing.
The second thing. Oh, sorry. Do you want to comment on that?
Oh no, let him cook.
Okay, so the second thing is in a similar vein, because JP he mentors me. Yeah.
Like super
in a
makes a big thing about it.
No, because it is. It is a big thing.
But like,
It is a big thing.
Like,
Monday mornings, every second Monday, I wake up and I'm excited because I get to see this gorgeous man in the morning.
I can feel what's happening here. And it's beautiful. It's awkward.
Okay, so in terms of like goal setting, a lot of the goals we set around is like, what do we want to like do? What do we want to like, you know? And one of the things that I've changed with regard to goal setting is, who do I want to be? Like, what type of person do I want to be as a result of this goal? And I put that at like the forefront of, you know, and a lot of it is basically the whole of, I actually just want to be happier, or I just want to be more like impactful on the environment, or whatever the case may be. And then the goals come from that. Comments. Comments, yeah, that's basically just to sort of string on what you were saying, and yeah.
I like that. And I actually changed my mindset around goal setting in a particular area like that, which is the physical goals, where it's more around, I want to feel strong and I want to live longer than I want to be a particular weight.
Okay.
And when that shift happens, your motives change, your motivation changes. Instead of beating yourself up, you give love to your body rather than, I hate the way I look.
Yeah, body issues is something that I refuse to touch.
Okay.
No, because like.
So will you turn quickly away from body issues?
No. Not like like I'm happy to speak about it, but I won't drive the conversation. Okay. Because I've always looked like this basically, and I feel like
great.
You know what I mean?
For you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's. And I don't have like a complicated or a sort of bad relationship. I don't even know what the words I'm using, but yeah, I do know that is something that people struggle
with. It's a big struggle.
Yeah, it is. And I'm open to speak about it because I've always had body issues because of the idea that I needed to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Regardless of what I did. But I think for me, like you said, the realization came, do I want to be able to do X, X, and Y? Can I do X, X, and Y? And that became yes. And then, so who am I actually creating an image for? And I think when that was when we speak about that, it's like you said, then all sort of other things come about. Like, what was my relationship with said food? Why do I eat certain things before eating other things? But it's because, again, and I will speak about it, even though Rizaan doesn't want to speak about it.
No, I'm privileged, man. That's like that's what I'm saying.
You need to love yourself.
Sit in that privilege.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Full stop. You need to love yourself. However you get to that stage where you love yourself, please do try and get there. But
I want to touch on what you said.
Go for it.
But I need to find it quickly.
okay,
Who
which
am
one?
I? Whose perception am I serving? How did you say that?
So who's the image for?
I wanna go there.
Who is? Oh, okay, sure.
Can we go there?
Yeah.
Because pre-24, post-24 Faye was living for other people, and post-24 Faye was
Living for Faye.
living for Faye. And it rattled a lot of people. And a lot of the work that I do also centers around, are you managing the perceptions of the world and the people around you, or are you living from within? And that can shift a lot of goals, and it can shift your motivation. Who are you living for? I like that you touched on that.
And I think it's a lot due to the fact that I am very comfortable in who I am. And I think the person that understands me the best in this world is my wife. And I think, everyone else's perceptions of how they see my life is purely their perception on how they see my life. They don't know when I wake up, what I do, how I actively live my life. The only person that sees that is my wife. So whatever your perception is, or whatever you think I am, is just your perception of who I am. And that's when I realized that it was just a game changer. Because of the fact that I then I enjoy drinking whiskey, and I drink whiskey. Like I enjoy having coffee with friends.
Whiskey.
And whiskey. And then and it's like it doesn't need to be excessive, right? And it's just that realization on what I enjoy doing. And how it made me filling my cups in the right place. Not to use the whiskey analogy again.
I'm allowed, it's fine.
No whiskey in your coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just got your relationship with water back. So
Can we pivot a little bit towards the titles now?
Okay.
Can we speak about you as empowered practice, or is it powered practices?
Empowered practices.
Empowered practices.
Doesn't matter.
Multiple. Let's go. So tell us more about that, and break it down, the different aspects of what you do and the different communities and type of people that you work with.
So empowered practices is me.
Yes.
I am empowered practices. I wake up every morning and I love what I do. Goal accomplished. But how I do it, I am an empowerment coach.
Okay.
I do like to call myself a self-belief and empowerment coach, because a lot of the work that I do is centered around what we believe about ourselves and how we live in the world based on that belief that we have of ourselves. And someone mentioned, you're not just an empowerment coach, Faye, you also work with a lot of self-belief. And I thought, why can't I be a self-belief and empowerment coach? So here we are. Like I said, I take my skills and I become what I am now, and I utilize those skills as it is needed. I'm also a skills facilitator, so I run workshops within my own capacity and then also within corporates. So I will be independently contracted to training institutions that want to run learnerships or leadership programs within corporates, and then they will lean on me as one of a facilitator.
Sorry, not to cut you off. Did you have to have that registered, or are you just able to provide the service?
As long as I'm a qualified facilitator, I can offer the service. So if you're a qualified facilitator and you've done a facilitation program, you can offer that service to training institutes if you've got the skills that align with what they're offering, with what learnerships they are offering.
Sorry, continue.
And then yeah. No, continue, sorry.
And then I'm also a motivational speaker.
Let's go.
I like to
Rizaan was waiting for
that.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
Dude, if I can be on a TED Talk, goal accomplished.
Okay.
Goal accomplished. I'd like to be the Cape Town Brené Brown.
Ooh.
Who that?
You don't know
Who that? Vulnerability, shame, courage. Who that? Google Brené Brown.
Hey, Google.
I'd love to have my book featured on Oprah's. What is it? Oprah's book club thingy? Goals.
Oh.
Inshallah.
I mean,
Hey, Decent. Oh my word. Okay, so I feel like JP actually had a question there, but I'm just gonna soldier through it. Apologies.
It's fine.
Apologies. So
Rizaan and I are still working out the kinks at the moment.
okay. A month apart can be
Yeah,
difficult.
I know. It's a.
I just didn't like the fact that he said working out the kinks.
Who's the one with the kinks?
Who's the one with the kinks? It's me. I'm the one with the kinks.
It's me. Hi.
Laugh for that. So one of the questions I wanted to just ask is, the whole idea of being a self-belief and empowerment coach is a definition that you sort of designed for yourself, right? You
Partly,
expand. So, for example, it sounds like when you say coach, I immediately attribute it to life coaching.
Yes.
So, is there a reason why you chose to define yourself as an empowerment and self-belief coach, or is it? Yeah. Continue. So yes, that's the question. I feel like you know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
So go for it. Go.
So I'm a qualified counselor, trained as a counselor with SACAP, the South African College of Applied Psychology. So if you ask me my qualification, I'm a counselor.
Okay.
And then when I went into private practice after getting lost in retail, I finally went into private practice and marketed myself as a counselor. And it went great. I was learning, I was growing, I was developing. And as that was happening, I was learning about the kind of counselor I'm not. And when that started happening, I found that I liked the solution-focused, forward-looking, driven, collaborative relationship type counseling. And then I thought, but then is that counseling? And then the more research I did and the more I found that a lot of the methods that I was using were coaching techniques, I then thought, well, then maybe I'm a coach. Why?
No, I'm just like, sorry.
I'm gonna
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm going to take Flash
Why are you
and
over
say
there
and play
looking
devil's
at me?
advocate here, right?
Okay.
And we're going to go. So,
Sure.
I mean, if we say
Venom's out.
if we say, like, let's say I'm good with numbers. Does that now make me a numbers coach? How do you have then the ability to take the title and share it with someone else?
My life's experience. So yes, qualified and trained as a counselor, and I have the knowledge and the understanding of fundamentals in psychology and human behavior. But a lot of my work is because I live it and breathe it every single day. So if you meet with me, if you know me, if you come and see me, my mantra is always that I've lived it. And if you want to learn from my experience, then I'm here. But I'm also not a coach that tells you what to do. I don't think any coaches tell you what to do. We are not allowed to tell you what to do. It's not ethical for us to say this is how you must live. We are mirrors. We are there to reflect. We are there to hold the space for you. But my own life's experience has had me navigate the world of self-belief. And I still navigate that world every day.
So I think the reason for the question, Faye, is because we live in like this space where almost there's an abundance of people that are coaches.
Yeah.
There's an abundance of people that say, oh, I can help you with this. Do my 13 steps to whatever. And they sell it to you for $10.99. Follow the link. Get there. So I mean, like you just said, you have the experience, which is what drives your product, right?
Correct.
But your product now sits on a platform with all of these others that are giving you 13 steps. How do we distinguish between those and the service that you offer?
One of the ways that I like to differentiate myself from those people is that I don't have a 10-step program for you to follow. I believe that you know the answers to your problems. You know the life you want for yourself. You know where you want your life to go. My job isn't to tell you this is the steps for you to get there. My job is to help move the things that are out of your way, that are standing in your way. Because I've gone through multiple different paths and I had to kick those things out of my own way. So when you are walking that path, and you are confronted with something and you don't know what that something is, I can be the sounding board and the mirror for you to tell you, you are possibly confronted with this. That's where you want to go. That's your step because you build your own 12-step, 10-step, 3-step, how-to guide. I'm not there to do that.
Yeah.
I'm there to say, you could possibly fall over this on your way there. And when you fall over it, here's something to help you get up. And I'll be there next to you as a thinking partner, as an accountability partner while you do that. But I'm not here to lay out your plan for you, dude. Sorry. 10-step how-tos? Nope. Sorry, not me. Well, I do have a boundaries course that is a 4-step.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That's
4
okay.
simple steps on how to set boundaries.
That's okay. That's fine.
But it's not a step that is telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's fine. That's fine. Don't take your foot out of your mouth. It's fine. It's okay. You did well. You did well. I'm proud of you.
Oh, I didn't have the chance to look at your face through that answer. I would have loved to see your face.
Oh, yeah. You can
Your
watch it
face
on
is
the-
animated all the time.
So that's
I'll wait for the
so
episode.
that's the thing, man. That's the thing. You you are concerned about the face that I make. Like, just loud.
Yeah.
Like, move. Like, just like, okay, cool. Rizan's doing a face. Cool. I'm just gonna ignore that. Just like move on. Few things I wanted to say.
Yes.
So thing number one is, first of all, I'm enjoying this. This is
Okay, me too.
you said so many things that's just like, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. So the one thing that I want to ask you about is you mentioned you found out the type of counselor or that you don't want to be. Right? And I think at the same time, just to sort of like, what type of people shouldn't be seeking counseling and coaching? What type of people should be seeking other methods of help? That's basically what I want to ask. Like, how do you know if a client or someone isn't for you?
You asked 3 different questions there. Which one would you like me to focus
Oh,
on?
shoot. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Wait.
4 steps to ask.
That's the last question that I'm asking, actually. That's the last question that I'm
The
asking.
last one.
The last one.
How do I know a client is not for me?
Yeah.
Is if I know that I'm not the right person to help them. And oftentimes, look, people will tell me through my life, oh, you're such a cool problem solver. And what I've learned through realizing what counsel I'm not is that I'm a better problem understander than I am a problem solver.
Okay.
So I understand, I try and use my talents to understand where the person is and to be able to say, I'm not the right person. You might need psychotherapy because your trauma boxes are open right now and I can't sit with those trauma boxes. Psychotherapy can help you with that. Or it's business coaching. I can help with business coaching, but I don't have the knowledge of the business world. But if I want to help you and you have enough knowledge about the business world, then I'm the right person for you. But it's about listening to what the person needs and knowing whether I'm that person or not.
You answered my question, by the way. Just like, I know I answered a very wild question, but you actually answered my question.
So one of the things, just to comment on that, was one of the things that Rizaan and I wrestled with earlier. So Rizaan took on a new role about a year ago. And so that all had a job description, right? So then the first question I asked him, but what are you in that description? Who are you in that role?
He's a cool mentor.
And then so then and like you said, it's almost as if we have, yes, you must be able to do X, but at the end of the day, you sitting in that position. How are you going to manage that thing? And I think a lot of the times we're putting ourselves in a space where we think we must meet this or we must be X, and we forget about who we are within X. So I think it's important, again, just to comment on there, and I'll give Rizaan the floor because I'm pretty sure, and you'll see in the replay, Rizaan's face changed 4 times during that discussion, and each one evokes a different emotion.
No, so we basically want to transition away from our A block into our B block, but it's a bit helter-skelter. So this is, so please turn Venom away. Yeah. So the first thing we want to sort of try is we asked our audience on Instagram to engage with us before this episode, and we asked them 2 questions. So one question is, how do you feel about therapy? You know, and so we are going to read some of the responses and cool. and also like give a shout out to them for participating. And the second one is, how do you feel about, is it self-improvement through coaching and mentoring?
Ooh, I like that.
And the idea is obviously we'll take what we can get and also just see how, because most of our audience are people like us. Our audience are a reflection of us. So how do they sort of engage with mental health and improvement in the colored community? And so
What a beautiful question.
okay. So
we
I
all have colored parents.
So I'm going to read the how do you feel about therapy one and just go through some responses, and then you can just ooh ah and whatever you want to go. And then JP will do the other one, and then once we're done with that, we have 2 more games, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so I wrote down moves I want to go through. So the viewer Uzair Regal said, "Good, more colored mense should do it."
And I thank you, Zed. We can stop there. The segment is done. Zed said everything he needed to say.
And then in that same WhatsApp group, Corbs 101, as a man or a colored, yes.
Thank you, Corbs.
Yes, like as a man, yes. As a colored, yes.
But Corbin's touching, I'm assuming your name is Corbin, is touching on 2 very important aspects. Men in therapy and coloreds in therapy.
That's why I said yes.
Well done. Thank you.
Do you want to expand on that? Sorry, do you want to expand on that? Like in the Venn diagram of just unitherapy. Yee.
I don't want to go there because I'm not a colored man, but I can go there.
Okay.
I just feel like we come from a community where men are not supposed to cry and neither are coloreds. So let's just sweep it all under the carpet. Let's pretend we're fine. Let's let the neighbors know it's okay. And that culture, we've been raised in that culture to portray that we're fine, we're okay, nothing's wrong. Same with men are not allowed to be vulnerable. They must be the man of the house. They must protect. They mustn't. So there's a lot of things sitting there. So yes.
I'm going to do 2 more. I like this one. It's Gemini Gerard. There's an R there by the D, Gerard. Haven't tried it, but I would love to. Mental health, and especially men's mental health, is important. I'm sort of just echoing that one. And I want to just do, let me just see right there. I want to do, okay, I just want to give a shout out to Steak Big as well. Steak.
Hi, Nick.
Nicky Boy Wonder. Yes, but he commented that Steak Big, so this is with the wings and everything.
Wing in mouth.
This is a spicy one. Let's see. So he's a response. How do you feel about therapy? He just simply said, tools can be provided in therapy in order to cope with different issues, I believe. And you guys...
but he said that when he was here. He spoke about tools.
Yeah.
And the reason why I read this one is because you sort of also went through a similar thing as him.
Similar path, yeah.
You know. So now JP is going to read through.
Yeah, so just the question is, how do you feel about self-improvement through mentoring and coaching, right?
Go.
And then the first one that stood out was from Freyline Courtney that said, I'm sure there are people out there.
Fraulein Courtney.
Fraulein Courtney.
Fraulein Courtney. So Fraulein _ Courtney.
Okay.
Sorry.
Does Courtney live with her eyebrows up all the
I'm
time?
not sure. I'm sure there are people out there who can help, but it feels like a cash grab. Everyone is a life coach these days.
Everyone is a life coach these days.
And what's your comments on that?
It sometimes makes me feel like I will be a misunderstood practitioner in the boat with the rest of...
Yeah.
But as long as people get to know me, I believe as long as I show up as myself, the people who need me will find me. And that's okay.
Then we have Asad from Paradise Nursery 2021. It says, I think it's awesome when voluntarily done and not enforced.
Oh, like click on this link and get a free webinar.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole coaxing you in situation. Guys, don't do that. When you are ready and when you feel like it's something you want, you go find the person that you need.
On that, where do you find these people?
They come, I've let them find me.
Okay.
The world of Facebook marketing doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
They've got to find you.
And then I think the last one I have is from Jesse Frankson, who was also on the show. Speaking about some advice and or constructive opinion will always benefit one's growth in life. This Rizaan's face. So what I think he's also trying to show is that we have creating that relationship, that sounding board that you spoke about earlier. I think is important in aspects of your own life and where you feel like you need just that extra element of comfort.
You know what it is for me? And not from the perspective of being a practitioner in the field, but being on the other side, being in therapy. Therapy was the only space, which is why rehab made me feel so safe, was the only space I could be myself through and through, say things in my mind that I would never say out loud to anybody while I was managing other people's perceptions of me. But I could go in and just vomit out, and I would be held and feel safe and feel understood. Now, just the environment, without the tools, without the advice, without the everything, just that environment is enough of an incubator for growth. And if you don't have that anywhere else in your life, then go find it in therapy because you'll get it. For the audio listeners, Rizaan's face.
The stills. Is it as impactful, do you feel, in real life? Like, obviously.
It is, but it comes with energy too. It's not just the face.
Not just the face.
Like, I want to know what you think. You need to share with. Oh, okay. No, it's a no. It's a no from the judges.
It's a no from the judges.
I wish you could have an edit where like a thought bubble appears and it's just me just running out the scholars. Just trying to push buttons, trying to land the ship. Can
you add that?
I'm thinking. So there's two things I'm thinking about.
Okay.
The one is the coaching aspect, and the one is the therapy aspect. But before I mention what I want to say, I just want to ask JP. JP, when you took Venom and Spider-Man, was that you doing the thing? Just like
yes, sir.
You were doing the thing.
Yes,
okay, cool. Thanks.
Yes,
good to know.
Because of
no. Say less. Got you. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a moment.
That was an actual inside joke that we were both part of.
I'm very sorry, Faye.
They have a beautiful relationship. If you ever sit between them, you will feel it. This is a lovely relationship. Okay.
I can explain to you after the recording.
It's fine.
Okay, so the first question is, or the first sort of thing I want to say is that the idea of coaching in like simple terms is we think of sports coaching, where you have a person or a team of people who get the team ready to play. The coaches do not play, they do not, but they do, I guess they carry some of the success.
They have played.
Obviously, yes, they've played the sport and they have a good connection.
The good ones have played.
They have a good connection with the sport. And I think like there's a disconnect with our community with regard to coaching. Is that even coaches know they're not always going to win. And what these coaches end up doing, I'm talking about life coaches. They sell winning like it's like a pill that you can just drink.
Like I said, sometimes I don't feel like I belong in the boat that I am with just with the title.
And for me, I think this is a personal takeaway. I think as a coach, the best thing you can sell is how to learn to enjoy the game. Something to that effect. Because then you're technically always winning.
That I'm speechless because that is powerful. Sure.
He landed the plane. All that, Rizaan. All that.
Because yes, Rizaan, that is it. if you enjoy discovering yourself, if you enjoy finding out the things that stands in your way and you enjoy moving it out of the way because it makes your life better, then you do that. And you don't let anybody else tell you what is right for you. No coach tell you what is right for you. Portia!
So on that Portia note, Rizaan, what do we have in the bowl today?
Let's go. The obvious game. The series of hypothetical questions in the bowl. Actually produced by our producer, Paul, who's also back now. I appreciate you.
Can I have a Say Man Now t-shirt? Is the merchandise coming up?
That's a very good question, Faye. I think so whenever someone gives business questions, it always comes this way.
So he doesn't want it.
Yeah, no, Rizaan was nothing.
I'm a socialist.
This is the co-host podcast. We are still figuring things out. So what you saw in that previous episode was like a sample of potential, and then if people do actually like it, then we will. And so yes, it might be coming your way.
Okay, cool. Don't make promises you can't keep, sir. That's all I'm saying.
No, but if it's that one,
I want to buy it.
Do it that one.
I want to buy it.
Okay,
just give it to me.
So what's gonna happen is we're going to play the game Say Man Now.
Okay.
I see these hypothetical questions. Designed and set up by producer Paul. I'm sorry for naming you. So this is from you mostly, JP. Be kind.
Why for me?
Be kind. That's all. Just be kind.
So before you open it, I've always wanted to know. Yes. Do you know what's in the jar in the bowl?
No.
You two never know what's in the bowl.
Okay.
Okay.
No, initially, like in the earlier episodes, we would write it, but only one of us would know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now none of us. Like so
Okay,
when we're reading it, but also bearing in mind Rizaan and writing.
Is that why I couldn't see anything that was happening in that book?
Not been the best at times.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So yes, we don't. Say but now, you have to name things that look/feel like love. What would you name it?
My husband and my dog.
Oh, that's not bad.
Mother Nature.
Your facts.
The ocean.
No, sorry. That's how they got my people the first time. I got a bone to pick.
I don't want to fucking sitting on my throne again.
I'm mad. but
I ain't stressed.
Yo, I will say this. In terms of this, the way the ocean looks, glorious.
You're not getting it.
Nah, bro. I'm on a boat. No, no, not me. No, sir.
So I think from my side, it would be like my mother. I think my mother's always embodied love, and then my wife. I think for me, that's been my safe space. So if I think about love, that's my definition of love. So, and yeah, that would be me.
I have more.
Yeah, please go for it. Cook. Go for it.
Yeah, because it's cooked now, and now it's a little deeper. I think I found a lot of love in authenticity. And the deeper I delve into my authenticity, the deeper that love gets. And it's so lekker.
Yeah.
So I don't have like you see my relationship with water.
Yeah.
Water's for work. My relationship with love is also a bit complicated. So but what I will say, I guess, to maybe reframe the question for me personally, because I'm not part of the WhatsApp group, is something that feels like overwhelming in like a good way. Extended versions of songs. You know? Like that felt like the artist was like, listen, I enjoy doing this and I feel like you liked it too. Here's a little bit more.
There's only two songs I think of now with that, and that is that Queen's extended version of Bohemian
Yeah,
Rhapsody
absolutely.
with I see a little silhouette on the mask.
Need.
But yes, I agree.
And then, I guess an easy one is just friends, friendship. Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hope that one day, as a people, we will start referring to ourselves when we speak of love, and not just outside of ourselves. Because that love is beautiful. But let's carry on.
Rizaan. Sure.
Why? And just from knowing you for the short time that I know you, you have a lot of practices of love toward yourself. I see your WhatsApp statuses.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought now like.
No,
you
like
outside my window.
There's the reference we asked for before the show started. And it has arrived.
Look at you loving yourself. No, I was in therapy, man. I was in therapy, and I'm actively on a journey of healing. And I actually do that in the mirror where I'm like, I tell myself, I love you, Rizaan, and I like hug myself and I'm like, I forgive you for this, and I do that, like I do all those things. I'm trying, I'm trying. Whew. Okay, so like and subscribe for more. Okay. So this one, and I want you guys to actually note that we're doing this. I'm talking to you, and I guess you, but you, and then to the audio listeners, also to you. So this was sent to us by one of our viewers, from Biden. Say now, you had to give up snacks or all forms of meat.
No.
Which one would you choose?
All forms of meat will go first.
Before snacks?
Yes. As long as they are salty, sweet, a combination of salty and sweet snacks, the meat can be missing for life. It's fine.
For life?
Except bacon.
No.
You can't
Everything goes.
Everything goes.
So that's chicken,
Bacon is gone.
Everything. Because I
keep the bacon flavored biscuits? What's that box with the bacon flavored biscuits in? That one stays. All meat's gone. I can live a life on snacks.
But that's a technicality. Yeah. Because I can also say, like, I can take a steak and cut it up and then make bulldog and say that's it. So, like, no, I get what you're saying. But I initially, like, when I heard it, I was like, no, snacks is number one. But if I think about not having, like, a full, like, plate of food, I have to go team meat there. Sorry for the vegan and vegetarian people.
So
then you haven't been to Burner and you haven't had the vegetarian biryani.
Fair. I haven't been to Burner. Burner. We will see each other soon. Then I would be team snacks apparently.
Might just shift your answer.
Yeah.
Look, I think because I spent all the day with Lal. Lal's vegetarian and he's always family's vegetarian. Like I can see myself giving up all the meats. Like it's not that deep. And also someone in my life now is vegan. The struggle, sure. Not for me, for
someone
them.
In your life? Oh. Why would you be struggling with someone in your life's vegan? It's my turn now.
It is your turn.
Turn.
Please continue.
I like to play games.
Yeah.
It's one of my inner child's favorite things to do.
Nice.
Reading, on the other hand. You could stay in a certain phase of your life, so far, in brackets. For the rest of your life, what phase would you choose? This one. This one. This one. Ooh.
Okay, can I cook? Sorry.
Yes.
Cook.
Yeah, so in Islam, when you go to paradise, to heaven, the age that they're gonna keep you at is like apparently like 33.
Ooh.
Like or like just in that sort of range, your 30s. was just like, oh, maybe, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Don't like at me. But just like,
Just at you, please.
and I just find that fascinating because I'm not 33 yet, so I'm hopeful.
You're hoping that would be the.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping that like that's when I can become Batman or something. I don't know. Yes, I could.
Are you close?
Am I? Oh yeah, I'm 29. I'm 29.
And you,
Yes,
33?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not 33
It's
yet.
30s are lovely. 30s are lovely. And they say, I'm not 40 yet, but they say the 40s are even lovelier because the growth of self and the knowing of self and the not caring what anybody thinks just gets lovelier.
At what age is our parental cortex?
25.
Is it 25? Yo, salam.
So at 24, we were all stupid.
On that, so there's a sort of what's the word, informal phenomena that exists with my generation, the millennials, and the Gen X also experiences. Is this idea of a quarter life crisis, and a lot of us are going through this now, where the whole map of what we're supposed to be doing and stuff like that, we get there and it's like, nope, I'm gonna go teach in Thailand.
Yes.
yeah. So like, oh nope, I'm gonna go start the social media career.
Yes.
And it feeds into the idea that like this formula that these boomers or people before set up for us, like, no. And yeah. Go.
Can I add on to that?
Please do.
I studied 2 things that I didn't finish pre-25 and then went back to school at 26 and finished it and loved it. And here I am. I don't think we should have the pressure of what do you want to be situation pre-25 before this is working.
I'm talking to you, schools of the world.
I'm not talking to you, parents. The parents are going to come at you, though.
The parents can...
Sorry, Rizaan, what did you say?
I'm taking a gap year because Rizaan said so.
Now I was thinking, I was getting stickers because I don't think they're on YouTube. But I know that my parents literally watch the show, and in that moment, my parents gonna be like,
Yeah.
They're going to come at you when the 21-year-old comes. I'm taking a gap year. I'm going to Thailand, mama.
please
Yeah.
take a gap year.
Yeah,
If
because
you
Rizaan
by
said
the
so.
means, dala.
I
So,
agree.
Faye, this has been lovely.
It has been
It has
lovely.
been so nice to chat to you, and I think it definitely great to have perspective on the show. I think for me, just the last thing we like to do at the end is
Okay.
just promote yourself. Where can people find you? How
Second
can they?
last thing then.
Second last thing. Did you miss
Rizaan-
something?
No, Rizaan will give you the last thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the second last thing is please promote yourself. Where can people find you? How can they access the services? And then Rizaan will give you the last thing.
Okay. I am on most social media platforms except Twitter. I don't belong there. And I'm on Instagram. TikTok is where you get a lot of me, a lot of the real me, and what life is like and what I have to offer. And on Facebook, all of it at Empowered Practices. My website is where you can go if you want to source any of my services. If you want to have a chat with me, I offer a 30 minutes. That's an opportunity for you to find out if I'm the coach for you, and an opportunity for me to say whether I am able to help. And that you can all find on my website, which is empoweredpractices.com.
Okay, so how we like to sort of the last words for the guest is you have a message for your younger self.
So I chose to not prepare for this question. I really wanted to feel it in my bones because I knew it was coming. But then every time I thought about it, I like, stop thinking. Stop trying to intellectualize this and just be yourself. Okay. I'm going to speak to the 7 to 12-year-old version of myself. And I'm going to tell that self to shine. As like weird as people make you feel, just shine. Just shine, just be the weird, odd, loud, dramatic, overly sensitive version. Just be it. Because it's going to be your superpower. It's going to make you money. Shine. Are you okay?
like I'm just like sitting
Okay.
with my 7-year-old and 12-year-old self, just like
Just shine, dude.
Just shine.
I was doing battle dances in the street when I was that age.
Do you still have urges to do it now?
I have urges to break out into song.
Then do it.
I'm not. I can subscribe for more. and if you enjoyed the content and you enjoyed hearing from us, please do like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to see and hear more.
Then they pop up on your
And
phone.
we
all the
out.
time.
Peace.